Digital instant payments are becoming commonplace in consumer banking. But what about companies? Are their demands being met? In this next chapter, we speak to a corporate treasurer to get their side of the argument. RTL Group is a leading European media company with interests in 57 TV channels and 31 radio stations. To keep such an extensive network running smoothly requires sound financial management and efficient payment flows. So, Francis, well, we've seen huge changes in the retail financial sector with instant payments and digital and online banking. But do you think there's a bit of a catch-up to be done in the wholesale area, in the business area?
Yeah, you're right. We face a lot of changes in the technology, and so we corporates are also transforming our businesses. If I just talk about my own company, we move from a B2B towards a B2C, let's say, business model. So it means that new way of selling and collecting money, and of course this kind of new way to make payments, what we call the e-payments, are quite key for us. So we would like to be more rapid and quick in terms of getting payment.
All right, tell us a bit more about that. So, I mean, when it comes to cross-border payments, what is it that you really need as a corporate treasurer?
First, it's obvious efficiency. So efficiency means to maintain a high degree of security, and we realize these days that security is not maximum. Bank invest a lot in security, same as market infrastructure, but we need more security. The second thing is cost. We would like to reduce the cost as much as possible. Traceability is quite important. If you compare with different businesses like Amazon, when you buy a record, a book, you can track and follow your parcel across the chain until it reaches your house. So we would like to have a better traceability on payment and to know if something is going wrong and to be able to
Okay, interact. So on the tracking side, you want it to be a bit more like Amazon. And on the cost side, I mean, do you want to see a bit of more of a breakdown of how the payment is incurred?
Yeah, of course. We would like to make sure that the exact amount we transfer arrive without any single cent or penny left in between to the counterparty. We would like to make sure that we can reduce the cost of payment, especially for the small payments, because we have more and more in my industry smaller payment, teeny payments. So it's quite important, because if you take the example of PayPal, in my way, PayPal is extremely expensive way of paying. And it's not really secured, because think about PayPal, you transfer Excel spreadsheet to PayPal. So in terms of security, it's counterproductive, and it's completely opposite to what we have developed for years. So security is key.
Okay, so that kind of takes us back to the banks then. So if the banks are going to serve you properly, what is it that they've got to do?
To try to get the best technology possible, and what I like with the new technologies, the new blockchain and the new innovation is great, because it creates a certain emulation, evolution. People try to think that it's a revolution. I would say that it's evolution. It's good to boost the forces and to make sure that the banks, who were quite reactive in the past rather than proactive, the same with the market infrastructure, are reactive and try to come with new solution, new way of being more efficient. Because what I think innovation is not doing things faster, is doing things in a more efficient manner. So really, time is an issue, but it's not the key issue.
Okay, but now we have got the banks talking about the Global Payments Initiative that's under the SWIFT umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that going in the right direction?
It certainly goes in the right direction. So they think about revamping the model. I fully endorse and support this kind of initiative. The only point and the remark I would like to address to SWIFT, but also to the shareholder of SWIFT, i.e. the banks, that we corporate treasurers would like also to be represented and to participate to this kind of discussion. Because there are some, let's say, corporate advisory groups, but without corporates. It seems to be bizarre, but banks are quite reluctant to welcome corporates to the discussion. Although we are user of SWIFT, we have a SWIFT account, so we would like to participate. It's a sort of digital play. We would like to be on stage and to have at least a voice. All
right, so let's say you get invited into this grouping. I mean, what will you going to be telling the banks? You know, what is it that you need to stress to them?
To ask them first to consider the innovation, because whatever the way we do things, the way we do payments, maybe it will be a sort of a larger range of products, larger range of e-payments, e-payment modes. We don't care about the way payment will be done, provided it's done in the most efficient way, i.e. cheaper, more secure, faster, more transparent, and as I mentioned, we would like to have an audit trail and to have the traceability, what is quite key in this process.
Okay, so you've emphasised some of the importance of dealing with banks, and you also emphasised some of the negative and positives of dealing with a fintech. I mean, would it be a great solution if you could actually put a bank and a fintech together? You might get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because in fintech you have tech and fin, and if you can combine the best of both worlds, it will be fantastic. So I keep thinking that the solution could come from a collaboration between banks and the fintech, because fintech is great, but there are some hurdles. So being a bank, I would consider the risk of dealing with a fintech. I think that the barriers are not high enough to prevent them of being, let's say, attacked or compete with fintech. On the other side, fintechs are brand new. You don't know which technology will emerge. They are quite fragile in terms of financial, let's say, solidity. And so it could be a combination. And I really appreciate some initiative from some banks. I think it could be the best solution, sort of cooperation.
Francois, thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us.
You're welcome.